Hello. Do we tell people we're recording this on Mondays? We record this on Mondays.
Yeah.
Millcast
number 3.
Yeah, Millcast number 3. Black ball in the foreground is a microphone.
Yes, we heard from you that the sound quality in here is not ideal. So we're trying something. We're trying to up our game a little bit week after week. We'll see how it goes. We're not sure if it's in the shot or not because we've got this up on like a tripod. So
Very good. How was your weekend?
it was good. My dad's visiting from the Midwest, so he helped out with my little baby Maeve a little bit this weekend. So I went out for a date with my husband, and it was nice.
Was it?
Yeah, we saw the Banshees of Inisherin up at the theater in Montpelier, and I only say specifically what the movie was because there's a lot of great sweaters in that movie.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it was set in Ireland, I think, and so, yeah, there's a lot of,
and so there should be some great sweaters.
1920s sweaters, and in fact, I saw a lot with, like, men's sweaters with a collar.
Oh.
Like, I kind of liked it.
Okay.
It's on my list of, like, maybe I'll make that for Cody, my husband Cody.
Okay,
sometime.
would you recommend the movie?
Yes,
Okay.
it was dark humor, but hilarious if you like that sort of thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I got it. It was good. We're going to talk about the weekend a little bit, but I did get in a really good walk with my neighbor and my sister. But it was windy where we were. It was cold, and I had with me my felted mittens, which looked like they'd been. You'd say, "Oh, she has another pair just like this." Not really. I was using up leftover yarn, so these are my felted mittens. But even these, the wind was like going through them. Kind of annoying. But other than that, it was a good weekend.
I know. We never shoveled after the snowfall last week because Cody and I both were convinced it was going to go away. We said, this is a fool's winter, and yet it's still here.
Yeah, it's still here. It was 17 degrees this morning.
Yeah, it's wicked cold.
But we did have other things going on this weekend.
We sure did. We had an open house here at the mill, and we got a little bit of footage to show you what that was like. First of all, thank you everyone for coming, but we'll show you what it looked like before the doors opened on Saturday, and then we'll come back and discuss.
It's Saturday morning, and we're doing the second part of our open house in just a little bit. Right behind me is our display table of some of the projects that we've made, and I'm going to take you down and show you what all we have set up. This is our little showroom moved to the front of the mill, and we've got obviously lots of making tracks on display that we hope people will enjoy. It went really well last night, Friday. And hopefully today we'll have a terrific day as well. And there you have it. So we look forward to seeing the folks that come in today on Saturday. So I thought it went really well.
I thought it did too. We had a good crowd. You know, we did sort of a brief period that we were open. It was just 2 hours Friday night, 2 hours Saturday. We wanted to see when do people, when does it work out for people to come. And so we had our little, everyone came pretty much right in the first hour, I'd say both times.
Right. And we had samples of kits you could buy and things made out of our yarn. And then clearly there were people who wanted the tour.
Yeah, and you were giving tours all night long. I gave about one per time, and then I maxed out. And Peggy's she's a tour machine.
Yeah, but I feel very badly for the people who, like, Cody was here and my husband Todd was here. Like, they're hearing Peggy do, oh, not the tour again.
Nah.
It's because I do it the exact same way every time. But anyway, it was very good. It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun, and I would say one of the highlights from the tour.
Shall we show one of the highlights?
Yes.
You're not going to believe this. There are folks that bring in things they've knit, and they're all very gorgeous. But, drum roll, look at this.
Ooh.
Is that spectacular?
Yeah, so this, one of our customers, her name is Anna Walton, came in and she had a tote bag with her from scratch. And she said, I have something in the tote bag that you need to see. And we were really excited, as we normally are. And she pulled this out, and we were just floored.
Gobsmacked. I mean, just...
And then she said it was her own pattern.
Yeah.
And then she said we could keep it.
Yeah, she said, I'm leaving it with you. I was like, you gotta be kidding. She said she wants to do a little tweaking on the pattern, and then she's going to put it up on Ravelry. And I'll tell you, the moment we know that it's up on Ravelry, we're going to let you know. But in the meantime, feast your eyes on this. It's just...
Yeah, so she made this with 3 skeins of our yarn. So the red is sort of a...
the cranberry
and apples, which we don't have currently, I don't think, much in stock.
We have similar, but not dead on, right?
And then the vibrant hot pink, that is
Could
Vermont
be nothing
Vice.
else but Vermont Vice.
And I would never have put those two together.
No
They
kidding.
look great. And then the white is a North Country Cheviot. Farm fresh yarn that we have that's just undyed sheep colored yarn, and I think it's so beautiful. And I know we've met Anna before when she's come in to buy wool, and we checked out her site and stuff. She's got a lot of beautiful patterns. So this one is featuring German short rows. I think that's what it's called, to get this really cool effect. I think it's you got to be a pretty experienced knitter to make something like this, but I kind of want to do it.
I'd like to try it, and I've done the German short row, and at first you're kind of like, but there's tons of YouTube videos that say this is what, this is how the short row's done, different from the more conventional. Although I do think the German short row is becoming the short row way to do the twist and turn.
And I guess I should say, I'm not sure if it's German or if it's just short row.
No, I think my guess is
so
it's going to be German.
don't quote me on that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say one more thing on that. That pattern's not out, but she does have a very similar hat pattern for everyone in the family, from baby up through adult, that is like a very similar style to this stocking. So check her out. We'll link her in the show notes. That's Wolten, W-O with 2 dots on it, L-D-T-E-N. Great.
So, new yarns.
New yarns, yeah. We'll talk about what we've been making in the mill. Do we want to start with...
Yeah, we should start with the blue, because as you may recall last time, I had a fistful of wool that had been scoured, dyed, and picked, that was ready to go in the carter, and et voila, there it is.
Yes, this is a... we're sort of, again, starting with this new kind of line of yarns that are dyed in the wool, but solids, made with local sheep's wool. So this is a Montadale Cheviot, same as the green that we showed you last time, but just done in this nice deep blue. And the reason we were really excited to get this one finished is that we think it will look beautiful in our shoulder season. We're calling this a cowl. People call it caplet. It's just a great layering piece. Our friend Ann Thompson designed the pattern using our yarn for us. And we had her knit this up with a different solid. We only had a handful of skeins of this blue, so we really needed to get something that we could put into kits. So this is just slightly lighter, but it's got the same values. And it's nicely uniform. And that's the advantage of dyeing it when the raw wool has only been scoured and hasn't been picked and carded. So the coloring gets fully blended. So it's not like dyeing a finished skein of yarn where you're desperately trying to make sure the dye doesn't pull. And the other benefit is we do have like a full spin runs quantity. So if you wanted to knit a sweater in this, we actually have the yarn for you.
Exactly.
It's going to be on our website in time for you to hear this podcast.
Yeah, I don't think we have a name for it yet.
I think we're just calling it Montadale and Cheviot blue.
The kit blue, right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's that.
Yeah, what else have we got?
Oh, we've got a few more things. Last week we did a lot of our own yarn rather than custom processing to prepare for the open house. So here we've got take 2 on Valley Fog.
Right, this was on the spindles at the last. I had it was over my head on the bobbins,
Yeah, so this one is our most neutral of the making tracks. So it's a variegated yarn still, but we've got, it's sort of browns, like steel blues, grays.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And a new one that we just decided what the name is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Do you remember?
Of course not.
Winterberry. Yeah, it is. We thought it's a little bit similar to Alpenglow, but it's got more greens going on it, and that yarn has been really popular. So I'm excited to see what people think of this one. Yeah. But it's sort of cranberries and lovely emerald greens, and there's some olive in it. It's actually pretty festive. I think you could do like a stocking or something out of this too. Yeah, so that'll be up on our website as well.
Great. And we wanted to tell you some of the things that are going on in the mill. Right now, one of the things we've scoured, and now we're just starting to pick. And I want to show you So it's Romney. This is not Romney. This is silk. And I want to show you the Romney, one sec. So we are blending. This is Romney that has been washed and picked, and it's been blended with about 15% of raw silk, and that's what this is. How do you pronounce it? Tussa?
I think it's Tussa.
Tusseh, I think is how AH
Yep.
is how it's spelled.
Yep.
And that's what this silk is. It's expensive, but by only putting in 15%, it doesn't make the yarn terribly expensive. So this is for a custom order, and I can't wait to see what it does to the Romney. It should add a little bit of shine and possibly soften it up a little bit. But I wanted you to see how it actually looks as raw silk.
And as you were saying that, little fibers are just like floating up in front of my face.
So you can't just throw this in the picker, it would jam, although I will say the picker jammed anyway. So before I did anything, I was pulling apart 4 pounds of it, and when I was done, I was totally covered, and part of it was because there was no humidity. There was 23% humidity, which is not good the wool was flying. And I had to then go work with another order, and I was like, oh, wait a second, I gotta brush myself off, or I'm gonna put in 5% of silk in the other order.
Yeah, it's just so fine. It's
very
wants
fine.
to float in the air and stick
really
to your
does.
clothes, but it's so lovely.
Yeah.
It feels great in the hand.
The other thing we're doing, sorry for the clicking, that's my stool. Just like the blue, this is our 4th color that we're doing. So this is like grape jelly. This is the same as this, only we've dyed it purple. Again, scoured the wool, then dyed it. This has already been through the picker, been through the carder, and we're in the middle of getting it pin drafted, which we'll do twice before we spin it into yarn. And it's kind of cool. And the 3rd color, which that was really smooth.
There you go. We gotta get you just a taller chair.
Just a taller chair. I plied this morning. So this is 3 of our 4 colors. And when we're all done, we'll put the big reveal with all 4 together. But this is a lovely ochre. It's been 2-plied, and it's ready to come off the bottom bobbin. And this just needs another round of pin drafting and a half, and then ready to spin.
Yeah.
So that's what's been going on in the mill. And this is a big order of the Romney silk, so that's gonna keep us busy.
Yes, it will.
Yeah. So, so what are we knitting?
Okay, is it time?
Yeah, it is time. You want to go first?
I'll go first because we already mentioned sort of what I'm knitting in a way. Okay, I decided it's time for me to knit felted mittens. I've been on a knit and tear. You saw the mittens I knit for my daughter.
Yeah, those are really cute.
I knit a very similar pair for myself, but they're like really lightweight because they're not felted. So I needed some big felted mittens. So I just cast on yesterday, and it's going so fast. They're the mittens from this book that Peg is letting me borrow. Felted Knits by Beverly Galescos. I don't know how you say her name, Galescos. Anyways, you knit them very large,
right,
and then you felt them. I've never done any felted knitting before, and I was looking through my stash to see what should I make it out of. And you know what I'm doing for the first time ever? I'm knitting with my hand spun.
Oh, really?
I found one skein, I think from before probably right after we started the mill, because I know that I pin drafted this stuff here.
Okay.
And it's a mixture of my first 2-use fleeces, Maisie and Brownwin. It's worsted-ish weight. It's hand spun, but I figure it would maybe felt up nicer because it's a little looser.
Yeah.
So we'll see how these goes. I'm just at the thumb gusset, and they're already feeling nice and soft. I hope they're big enough. I don't know how big yours were before you felted them.
You can somewhat control it.
Yeah.
Where you run it through the washing machine once and pull it out,
okay,
and then you can decide whether it needs to run through second. One of the nice things about this pattern is that it does a short row, so that you kind of can't tell it, but it means that the mitten has a little bit of a bend in it like that because of the short rows.
Yeah.
So it really feels like a fitted mitten.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Good.
I last year went the whole winter just wearing snowboarder gloves, and I hated it because they weren't cozy at all.
Yeah.
And so this year I'm just finally making all the mittens.
And these are quick.
Yeah, like I said,
such big needles.
I started these yesterday. I have not a lot of time to myself with the baby at home, and yet Grandpa's visiting, so that did help. But yeah, they're on size 10s.
So like, were you upstairs hiding? They're calling you, Amanda, come down and see your baby. Can't. I got somebody else watching the kid.
Never.
Yeah.
I would never do that.
All right, I'll show you what I have finished, but I actually don't think that I have finished. This is a sweater that's been taking me forever.
I love the color.
Yeah, this is all my Moritz. Moritz is the jean that is a recessive, and it gives you this sort of cinnamon color. So I have black sheep, I have white sheep, and I have some that are Moritz. And the Moritz, too much information here, they gray out just like my black girls do. And so this is a pale version of my original Moritz. Mm-hmm. But just give it a squeeze.
Yeah. Well, we should say, for those who don't know, both my project and Peg's are with Corriedale fleece, because we love
Is there any other kind of sheep? Oh, yeah. Right.
So it's really nice and lofty, and this is going to be really warm.
So this is another one where the original pattern I found in one of these old books. It was one of the books at Molly. We have a very good friend who was downsizing, and she called us and said, I've got all these knitting books. I don't know what to do with them. And we have an extraordinary library of knitting books.
Which actually, I just took some time last week. That's what we did in the mill as well. I took an evening, and I got really into my organizational skills, and
Did you alphabetize them?
I did not, but I put them in piles, and it's like, here's the patterns.
Okay.
Here's specifically the mitten patterns. Here's pattern design. So we have a lot of great books from Molly. Thank you, Molly.
So I found this pattern, and I was going to knit it, but the striped section up here was calling for something called, I think it was called Fisherman's Rib. And I did a test swatch in it, and it was too bulky. Mm-hmm. But I liked the lines, so I did something that I've seen my friend Ann Thompson do a lot, which is a knit one, purl one, knit one, and then on the next row, just all knit. So you get this nice stripe without it getting overly bulky. So this little band was from the original pattern. When I played around here and there, what I'm not liking is the collar. I think I'm going to take the collar out and do a tall, almost like you're really tall that folds over, because I think this isn't really working for this sweater. Mm-hmm. So we'll see. Yeah. It's Thanksgiving week.
It is exciting.
It's very exciting. It's one of your favorite holidays?
Yes, this as well as Christmas.
Yeah. You doing a turkey though?
Yeah, so we got a turkey from Hogwash Farm.
As did we.
Yes, Hogwash is great. They're a little farm down the road from us in Norwich. And my mom is coming to visit, so my dad goes home to Wisconsin. Mom gets on the plane in Wisconsin, comes for that holiday.
Nice.
And we're cooking, we're doing all the basics.
All right, and I am headed to New Hampshire. Todd and I are going to be with our two grandsons, and our daughter Loretta and her husband Jason, and Jason's sister's joining us. And we're at this house that has no television, and it'll be board games and
quality time. Good old-fashioned quality time.
We all look forward to going to this place. So it'll be great.
Lovely.
But it does mean that we're going to actually close the mill for most of Wednesday, all day Thursday, and Friday.
Yep.
So retail hours are, if you get this and see this before the end of day Tuesday, we'll have some retail hours on Tuesday, but otherwise we're done.
Yeah, but we did want to offer a special discount since we know folks are shopping this week. There's the big, I guess you've got Black Friday, Shop Small Saturday,
Cyber Sunday, Monday. We don't know what Sunday is. Sunday must have some kind of name, but we're going to offer a special deal for that whole time frame.
Yep. So we're doing 15% off on our website. If you go shop our site, use the code THANKFUL. We'll list that in the notes. Use code THANKFUL and you'll get 15% off your entire order. So that's yarn. We've got hats. We've got
minimum
patterns,
order. No minimum order.
But if you do want to get free shipping, we do have a $70
minimum for free shipping.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we hope you think of us when you're thinking presents for yourself or others.
Yeah. And just know that any orders that do come in, we'll fulfill them first thing Monday.
Yep.
We will not get anything packed up before Monday morning.
Yeah, but we're certainly small, so consider us for your shop small. And I think that's a wrap. So
enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope you're spending it with some friends and family.
And thank you for have a good Thanksgiving. And thank you all for hanging out with us for a little bit. We love seeing your comments, and we'll continue to try to improve our Millcast here as we go along. Yeah. So we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Bye.